Welcome back, friends, to SusanCanCreate. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's down in the bottom. It really helps me with my YouTube channel, keeping it active. I'm really trying to create good content for you guys that you will enjoy, and I'm trying to build my channel. Please hit the like button if you like it, and hit that little alarm bell that'll announce to you, let you know when new materials coming up. I am trying to post things 3 to 4 times a month now instead of twice a month, but I'm not on a real set schedule yet, so please hit that alarm bell. Okay, it seems that I have gotten off schedule. Not necessarily surprising, but it is for me because I am kind of a schedule person. And I had put Mardi Gras on my schedule, but I put it on the wrong date. I put it on for March 21st instead of February 21st. So we were sitting here this weekend, and it was Friday night, and my husband, we were talking, and he said, "I thought you were going to do a Mardi Gras video." And I said, "I am. It's next month. I'm going to do it." And he said, "Mardi Gras is in a couple of weeks. It's February 21st. And this was now like February 10th. And I said, "No, it's not." And I was about to argue and, tell him he was wrong. And I kept my mouth closed, which was a good thing, and realized he was absolutely right. And holy cow, I started to have a brain meltdown in my head, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, that yes, I need to have a Mardi Gras video. I absolutely want to have one. So that was Friday night. So I started pulling out stuff what I had been gathering for Mardi Gras. Those of you who are beginning to know me, I plan way in advance for my parties and my themes. I like to have time to create. And so knowing that I had to do it on the weekend and get it all done, get it prepped, get it prepared, get it filmed, that's a lot of work. And so Friday night, I started with that. I started pulling everything out. I started looking at what I had been kind of putting together, because I'm doing a video showing you the behind the scenes. That's sort of what I was going to be working on this weekend a little bit, but not now. And so I went in to see what I had, and I didn't have much. So that kind of triggered my panic. And I tried to keep calm and think, because you can't really be real creative when you're panicking. And so I really didn't have an inspiration piece. I really didn't have anything yet. So I was looking through my stuff, and the one thing I had bought previously a while back is I bought this really pretty Mardi Gras mask. And I thought, that's it. That's going to be my inspiration piece. And so I went to bed that night. At least I had an inspiration piece. And so I kind of made a plan of where I was going to go the next day. And I told everything was put off for the weekend. And I told my husband, I said, "You're not going to want to go with me tomorrow. You just don't count on me. You go do whatever you're going to do." And so I made my plan of the stores I was going to hit. And I don't like to shop this way because it's disorganized, and it takes a lot more time, it seems, because I'm trying to process, I'm trying to think as I'm looking, and it's just not a productive usual way to do it. And so but some things have to be done that way. So I went, and it wound up being 5 stores that I went to, and I do a lot of my shopping online. And I realize now, especially for my linens or anything like that, man, the stores it's pitiful. It is pitiful what they have in the Bed Bath & Beyond and some of those stores. The shelves, it's like almost going into stores that are going out of business. And I talked to them in there, and they said, well, it has to do with, they can't get materials. It's shipping issues, and it's all that kind of stuff. So it was a grand waste of time that I didn't have. I did okay. I did fine at Hobby Lobby, and I did fine at Michael's and a couple other stores that I went into. But it was piecing it together, and I really didn't have it coalesced in my head at all. So I spent like 3 hours at Hobby Lobby. The ladies were kind of chuckling at me there because they see me wandering. They said, "You're going to be worn out." And I said, "Yeah, they're getting used to me being in there now." And I said, "I know." But I had to kind of, I'm not a crafter, as you guys know. I'm not. But I can repurpose and I can do things. So I wound up, and I'll talk a lot about this. I'll go through it when I'm going through the video. I'll show you what I wound up doing and finding in there. But I did find things. I had to do it the best I could. I still had no idea what my tablescape was going to look like. And but I did find some things and had a general idea and brought it all home. Got the florals because I knew I wanted to do a lot of florals for Mardi Gras because it's all about Mardi Gras all over the top. And that's the thing when you got a short period of time and you've got a huge decorating task. It's not like you can get away with a little bit for Mardi Gras. You can't. Mardi Gras is all about the party. All about the party. So I got a bunch of florals. I was lucky. Hobby Lobby had them on 50% off. And I brought back stuff and I was exhausted. 5 hours later, 5 stores later, I got back. I ate something and I rested for a while and because my feet hurt by that time and tried to think through. So after a break, I unloaded everything, which is what I do, and then I kind of just looked at everything. I was going to film, the floral process, especially because there were quite a bit of florals, but quite honestly, didn't have time. I had Saturday. That's basically what I had. After I ate, after I rested, after I unloaded anything, I worked a few hours and then it was night and I was done. And so I got up early Sunday and Sunday was all day long. I didn't have time to worry about the filming, setting up the camera angles, doing all that kind of stuff. Just didn't have time to get this thing done the way I needed to. So I will talk about them, like I said, when I get in the dining room. I'll talk it through the best I can. I'll talk through my ideas, what I went through. And I wound up using what I did was I wound up pulling a lot of my stock out, my dishes and stuff, and I wound up with like 4 or 5 different places and mix and matching dishes trying to figure out because I knew my basic color pattern. Mardi Gras is usually purples, greens, and golds. Those are usually the color. So I didn't have a lot of purple and I wanted to go with purple. So I used background colors in purple and wound up, what I put together, I really am happy with. I don't know how I did it in the short period of time, but it came out. I really, really like it. And so Sunday, it was a long day, but I managed to pull it all together. I got it set up. I got it done. And got it pretty much ready to be filmed. And this is now Monday morning. I'm filming this before work because all know I work full time. And I'm doing this filming before work. And then I'm going to film at my lunch. I'll film the room and then I'll finish filming it tonight after work. And then tonight I'll do the editing and all of that. And I'll try to do all the post-production and all of that that's required. And hopefully have this thing up and to you this weekend, which, will be whatever it is. Whatever this weekend is. 17th, 18th, something like that. So, let's talk about Mardi Gras now a little bit. Mardi Gras is the end of the carnival season, basically. In French, it means Fat Tuesday. The day represents the last hurrah of sorts, for leading up to Lent, basically, which is the 40 days of, fasting before Easter. Pope Gregory made Mardi Gras a holiday back in 1582, and by adding it to his calendar the day before Ash Wednesday. And it was brought over for a holiday in North America in the late 17th century. So quite a while. And Mardi Gras is celebrated around the world. In Ireland, in England, in Australia, in Canada. It's also known as Pancake Day. There's several other interpretations of it. Pancake Day is celebrated by eating pancakes, go figure. And pancake-themed activities. The first Mardi Gras celebrations took place in Mobile, Alabama in 1703. And then the second largest party after that was in New Orleans. I've been to New Orleans. I've partied in New Orleans. I've never done Mardi Gras, though, in New Orleans. I think it might be just too much of a party for me, but it's certainly people that do it up quite a bit. The first parade for Mardi Gras was in New Orleans, and it took place in like 1837. So it's got quite a history. But it wasn't until like 1857 that the floats started to appear in the parade. If you're going to ride in the float in the Mardi Gras parade, you're required to wear a mask. That's the law. You have to wear a mask. It started to rid society of all the social constraints for the holiday. So the different class groups could mingle freely together for the festivities. Beads are a big part of Mardi Gras. Beads aren't the only thing thrown, though, in the crowd during Mardi Gras. People throw stuffed animals, they throw toys, they throw candy, they throw other things. Like I said, the colors are green, purple, and gold are the official colors. Mardi Gras, each color is said to represent something. Green is for our faith, purple is for justice, and gold is for power. So with that, we're going to go in now, and we're going to go look at the dining room, and I've also set up the entry as a bar area. It is set up in 2 sections, so I hope you enjoy this. I gave it my best, and I'm really pleased how it turned out, and we will see you when you get back here. This is the entry. I have it set up as a bar area for when they enter. Here we have, since this is Mardi Gras, we're going to have more than wine. We have also whiskey drinkers. So I've set this up on the long side here. This long entry table has the glasses. I want to point out these wine glasses that I have here. Let me show you one is a little closer here if I can. These are really pretty. They've got a copper trim to them. I got these as a gift for Christmas from my my oldest son and my daughter-in-law. I know it was my daughter-in-law that picked them out. So anyway, I thought they were a nice addition, and I'm going to get to use them. And so behind the glasses there is a silver bucket that one to the right, it will have ice in it, or ice slats in them, frozen slats, and they'll have a bottled water in that. Next to that, we have some smaller crystal glasses. They're for like the whiskey glasses, and they're little smaller tumblers. And then behind that will be the ice bucket. Next to those, I set up, let me see if I can get in a little closer here. Some condiments here. I have a couple of glasses with some crystal picks in them, decorative picks, little umbrellas. In front here, I have 4 condiment trays. In those, there'll be sliced lemons, sliced limes, some cherries, and then some spiced orange rinds. So behind that, we have a variety of different whiskeys, the ones that they like, even moonshine. There's an apple pie moonshine back there, Fireball whiskey, Maker's Mark. There is, let's see, Scotch whiskey. There is an old-fashioned drink mix, and then there's some cognac. These are for particular people's taste. But this sets up nicely, and it's a nice little bar that they can, you know, serve themselves throughout the evening. And then across the way on the other entry table, I set up a little wine bar. On the left, we have chilling. We have some white wines and a rosé wine. Chilling down on the right, we have 3 different kinds of reds. Sitting there, they would obviously be opened and breathing before the guests would arrive. In the middle, there, let me see if I can get the camera in closer. In the middle, let's see. In the tray, I have all of the accompanying equipment that you need for opening the wines up. It just makes a nice little self-serve area. I put them in a tray, keeps them contained, keeps them the mess from getting on my table also, and the table from getting dinged up and bent. You know, people throwing things down where they don't belong. I line the little tray with a napkin too, keeps my tray from getting dinged up. All right, let's go ahead and move into the dining room. Welcome to Bourbon Street in New Orleans. This is my take on the Mardi Gras celebration. And here we are at our first stop in Bourbon Street, and this is a little side table, and I have dressed it out with some linen that I got, some material at Hobby Lobby. It's purple and it's shiny and it's beautiful and it says party, and on those I put some little signs, Mardi Gras signs. Let the good times roll and Mardi Gras. Put some votives in there, candles, and I used little tiny vases, glass vases, which I put some purple feathers, which I was able to get at Michael's actually, and very nice, very, very festive little side table that could be used for drinks or anything else. I also wound up using some of my own jewelry when, you know, you are short on everything and you improvise, and so got into my own jewelry, and you'll see it all through the place and through my own jewelry all around in there, because everything is, like I said, in excess when you're doing Mardi Gras. But the table is very festive and turned out really nice. I like it a lot. Very pretty. The lampshades were even dressed up with some jewelry. Okay, let's move over to the little side table, and here we have, I dressed up the lampshade with a mask, a little lace mask, and then the side table itself, again, I covered in that material I got at Hobby Lobby. It's that purple. It has like a fish scale kind of look to it. It shimmers. It's it just screams party. And on top of that, I put a boa that's purple and black and gold. And then I filled in with, I took my black crystal goblets that I had, and I filled them with beads, draped the beads over the outside of them, and then draped some bracelets, some gold bracelets of mine, over top of those too, and then put some jewels down inside the boa, and that became the side table decoration. And I also put a couple of votives and also the I'll use the little flower vase again, put some feathers in there. Feathers are also another thing that's synonymous with Mardi Gras. So you can just use your own stuff. Like I said, I use my crystal black crystal goblets and just put beads. You can use beads for everything and jewels, and you got ready-made decorations right there. Alright, so let's move over and look at the apothecary. Alright, here's the apothecary. What I did on top of here is I used a lot of little votives. I put a couple of rosemary plants in the back. I used my whitewash candle stands with I used 2 of the purple candles and a yellow candle. I purchased a sort of a stained glass window frame for the back from Hobby Lobby back there. I know New Orleans has a lot of, churches in stained glass, so I tried to mimic that somewhat. And then over here, I got a couple of little glass vases. They had the hint of green to them. Put a couple of flower stems in those and added that up there to pick up the green. And that's what I did for the top. And now let's move on to the fireplace. What I did here was I put a candelabra up on my shelves on the fireplace. They have 2 green, 2 yellow, 1 purple candle in them. They are beeswax candles. I get these candles from Etsy, on Etsy, and I love the beeswax candles, so I like the texture to them, and they come a variety of colors. So I did that, and then I hung some jewelry off of them. And then in the middle, I just have a wooden sign that says Happy Mardi Gras. And then on the other side, I have the same thing with the candelabra and some pearl necklaces. And then down below, I have 4 pillows that all have like Happy Mardi Gras and Let's Get Cray and Beads Please, that type of thing. So just some festive pillows to go across the bottom of the fireplace. Okay, next will be the tablescape. Welcome to the tablescape. Let's start with my inspiration piece that I talked about. This is the mask that I was saying. I had bought this some time ago, and when I pulled it out, it was my inspiration piece for this whole tablescape. I just love it. It's ceramic, it's beautiful, it's purple, blacks, and golds. And I used it, I put it at the base of this tall vase that I hung jeweled little, actually they are Christmas ornaments that I got for my next year's tree, but they're black and gold and crystal. I filled the vase with multicolored feathers and big palm fronds, pampas grass kind of thing that are black. And I hung jewels everywhere I could. I set it on a black charger, which I'll show you in a minute. Let me take this, let me stop this. I'm going to move it around, folks, so you can see what it's actually sitting on. Okay, here's the base. I put it on a black and gold charger, filled it with these green and kind of a pastel-y green stones, filled it with feathers in there. There's little light feathers that you can see. There's feathers, there's beads, there's bracelets. When you're working with feathers, what I say, especially these light, fluffy, airy things that you don't want going everywhere, a trick I use is you can put hairspray on them. Once you get them in place, just put a light coating of hairspray, and then they'll stay put where you're putting them. But you just drape it. Just make it look kind of messy and drapey, like a treasure chest type of thing. And that's at the head of the table. These linens, this purple sheen cloth here that I got. I didn't have a tablecloth, like I said. This came up on me suddenly. I wanted purple really bad, so I found this at Hobby Lobby. The folks at my local Hobby Lobby, I talked with them and I found this, and then I found this beautiful, I didn't have placemats, I didn't have anything else in mind, so I found this beautiful green shimmer material, and I made runners out of that going the opposite direction, and that became the base of my table. And that's where I started, folks. That's exactly where I started. That mask, and that mask led me to these linens. And then, let's look at this. Then I got let's move it over here. I pulled out all of my dishes, and there were several I was trying different things on. And then I wound up with this tablescape here. Let me see if I can get it in here. This place setting. Okay, so what I did, let's do our tablescape thing here. Okay, I used my gold silverware, which you can see here. Okay, let me see if I can do this properly so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I used my gold silverware, I set that up. I used the gold, these gold underneath here. I used the gold placemats. These are real pretty. Let me just take this apart so you can see it. I used these elsewhere. I used them something like this for New Year's also. So I repurposed those, but I loved the way it picked up the gold. I had these chargers in-house here in my storage that I hadn't used yet, but they're black and they're gold, and I loved it because they look French. They look kind of like piratey. I don't know why, but they did to me. Then I had these green, and I think I brought these out in the fall, but I had these. These are from Williams-Sonoma. They had a real organic edge to them. I like those. That picked up the green. I had the gold dishes also from Williams-Sonoma, and I picked that up with the gold, and that made my place setting. And then I wanted to do something different, over the top kind of thing. And I didn't have napkin rings. I didn't have any of that stuff to work with. And I didn't have time to get all that stuff. So what I did was I improvised. Okay, so let me show you this. I had a purple napkin. All right. I'm going to take this one apart for you here. All right, let me show you what I did here. Let me just show you. Okay, so I took, all right, so obviously that's just a bead down there on the bottom. Purple glass. Okay, I got these at Hobby Lobby actually on my thing because I didn't have any glass like that. I just took another one of the beads. I put it in here, put it on the side. Actually, I want it front to back. Okay, then I had this napkin. All right. I already had this in my stock, this linen purple one. I just made it up like this. It makes it kind of like a fleur-de-lis type of looking thing, which is French, is what you want anyway. Okay, so you're going to put it up. I had these napkin rings. Otherwise, I was looking for other things, but I couldn't find anything. But I thought these are kind of, jewelry looking, and that's what you want for Mardi Gras. Just slide it up there, just like that, slide it up there. And then to anchor the beads, I just folded that over just like that. And then I stuck it in there, and that anchored the beads. Okay, what I did, then I thought, I'm just gonna put that down for a second. Then I thought, what do I want? I wanted something else in there. So I was wandering around Hobby Lobby, and I found these purple doorknobs. And I really liked them. I may use them as doorknobs sometime on something, but I wanted some more. So I just put them in there like that. Okay, so you had this. Okay, this is back in here like this. This goes back in here like that, and it's sitting in there. And then I had these little feathers that I tore. This was actually a little boa that had all the colors in it, and I just cut the feathers out of it, and then I just stuck feathers in where I wanted them. Okay. Just shoved them in there. Shoved them in there. Of course, I did a better job first time. I'm just trying to show you on film here, so I don't take up a lot of the time. But, you know, you just shove them in there. And then the beauty of this thing, you say, well, how are people supposed to eat with this? What are they supposed to do when they want to eat? Well, what you do when you want to eat is you just take it apart. You take it apart, and this stuff becomes part of the tablescape. You just toss it out there on the tablescape, all of that stuff. That's fine. And then you use your napkin. It becomes part of the party. Then I found these dare cards. You have to scrape them. It's a little party game. Little party game for them to work with when they sit down and while they're waiting for things and, you know, having their drink or whatever. They're a little party game. I would fix that later. They'll stand up. But there you have it. And that's what I said. And that becomes part of your tablescape. So it becomes, you know, no problem. So that is the idea that I came up with for this. Now, in the middle, let's see if we can't look at this closer too. Okay, so then I decided, well, I like the idea of my candelabras. So I brought the candelabras out. And again, I put the beeswax. Let's see, I'm sorry. I'm kind of campywampus here on this. Beeswax candles in there. The purple, the green, the yellow. Keeping consistent with my color theme. And I threw my bracelets down on the bottom of them. And put some bracelets here on the side also. And over here, I didn't have enough candle holders that I liked with this. So what I did was, I'm going to move this for a second. Oh, and I added another yellow goblet here. But what I did with this is just a vase. I bought a set from Amazon, just a set of 24 little bud vases kind of thing. I did this a while ago. And then I decided to fill it with the green stones. And I put one of the shorter candles in it. And I made my own little candle holder. And I really liked it. And it's very versatile now. I can use it for whatever. Like I said, you don't have to have a candle holder. You don't have to have some. You can use your stuff however you want to use it. Let's just put this back for right now. Okay. So, all right. And here's kind of the centerpiece that I worked on. But I want to show you these. What I did here was, let me show you this. Okay, I took a couple of wine bottles and I got to play with a hot glue gun. I took the beads, I started at the bottom and I glued these all the way around. And I just took the beads. I cut the beads in long strands and I wrapped. It's a little time consuming, but I wrapped and wrapped and wrapped. And these are wine bottles, but I think they turned out really nice. Really nice. And I just crafted that. And, you know, I'm always amazed when I craft something because I'm really not crafty. And so I made those as decorations in there. And then here I took a black candle stand. I had a purple bowl. I draped jewelry in it. It's filled with green stones. I had another mask and some feathers and some more of these jeweled hanging. You'll see them at Christmas time next year on the tree. And then just draped some more jewelry around it. And that was for my centerpiece. And then if we just go down the thing, you'll see the rest is pretty much the same until we get down to the bottom. Okay, now we come down to the bottom, and here's another floral arrangement at the other end of the table, head of the table. As you noticed, I didn't put people at the heads of the table. I kept them in the middle because I wanted the tall stuff at the ends and wanted people to be able to see themselves. But again, I took a tray, I took one of the chargers, filled it with stones and jewelry and feathers and all that kind of stuff. Put this on one of the black candle stands. Now this one I got a gold vase, and I hot glue gunned all the beads all the way around on the bottom, making it more festive. And then I filled it with, around the bottom, I put some feathers. And then inside, I used a variety of all kinds of florals, dried florals. As you know by now, if you've watched any of my videos, I love texture. I use lots and lots of texture in my florals, in my floral designs. And I'll take you around and we'll get to see the whole, all the way around this one, because it is one that's made to be seen on all sides. And but I just wanted to party up the base too and show you what you could do with those. You could just hot glue gun those things on and make it a whole lot more festive than just a plain old vase at the bottom. I did choose gold though because I thought that made it look pretty good. Let me see if I can show you a little bit around this. Okay, here's another angle. This is the kind of the back angle. I used I got into the softer greens back in here too, and different textures with the purples and yellows. Okay, here's another one I put on a stand over here, and it's another floral, and I draped in the vase at the bottom are black and green stones. And it was just it's a glass vase, but I wanted to have some draping vines over it, so I kind of clipped some off and hot glued those on there. And then I surrounded the base with purple roses. And then in the top are all different kinds of stems of yellow flowers, green, greens, stems, different kind of textures, and purples and berries. I've got all kinds of stuff in there. Let me see if I can get that closer and you can get an idea of all the stuff. Beautiful colors in there. Just nice. This one's a little airier so you can see through it, but yeah, this arrangement just called for a lot of flowers. I thought this Mardi Gras is just full. That's something New Orleans celebrates, is their flowers. All right, so let's see if we can get one more shot of the table, and then we'll go back in and close out for this video. Well, hopefully this is another shot of the table a little bit, if you can kind of see it all the way down it. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed doing it even after my meltdown, but creativity flowed and it was a lot of fun doing it. I'm just very, very happy it all came together, and I'm sorry that I have to take it down so quickly for the next one, but that I don't get to enjoy it for very long. But it really is. It was a lot of fun, and I certainly did enjoy it. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes, and we'll wrap this up. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the Mardi Gras celebration I put together for you, the tablescape and the decoration. Thank you again, and again, please subscribe. It really helps me. I'm trying so hard to build my channel. Make sure, we're all trying to be pleasant here, and I do take criticism. I don't want, negativity all over the place. That's not what we're here for. We want to enjoy life, and but if you've got a comment that is a constructive criticism, great, I'll take it. If you want me to try to answer some questions, or maybe look towards something I can help you with, perfect. Put a comment on there. I'll try. Thank you again for your patience with my scheduling issues. There's going to be more coming up. There will be, I'm out of order now because I did do a couple of videos. I've got one that was supposed to be in place of this one. I did a demo on some floral design. I was kind of down. I had a respiratory infection, but I had gone to get some fresh florals. I was going to do some floral designs, and I went to Costco to get those, and they were supposed to, I had waited 2 days because I really wasn't feeling good, but I had to get them done, so I did those. It was supposed to be posted, but it got bumped because of this. So some of the information in there is a little outdated. It was then, and it'll be posted a little bit later, so bear with me on that. I was also I was very down. I had lost my best friend. I was going through that issue, so please bear with me on that. I'm still going through that, but it's my acceptance of that fact is getting better. We all have to move on, like it or not. And I don't like the issue, but you have to accept and move on. After the Valentine's, I had the Italian pizza party that was supposed to drop, and it would have had your riddle, the answer to the riddle to the Valentine's, but that's been pushed out to March, so you're going to have to wait for your Valentine's riddle answer till that one comes along. I'm not going to put a riddle in on this one, on the Mardi Gras. I put a little something different in this one so we won't get so mixed up on our riddles. So I hope you enjoy that. There'll be a page coming up. It's choosing your name for Mardi Gras. Also, we have our pet community page. We have a congratulations in hand. Our couple, Louie and Dottie, our first-time parents, they have 5 little pups. So I hope you enjoy the puppy pictures that'll be on there. And I guess that'll be it. So the next one will be the floral design. It'll be out on the 24th. This one should be out this weekend. Then the 24th of February, the floral design. And then on the 3rd will be St. Patrick's Day, the 3rd of March. And then after that will be the Italian pizza dinner, which I believe will be the somewhere around the 17th of March will be that one. And so I think I'm back on track, folks, hopefully. And then after that, I'll do the behind the scenes video for you. So I hope you all stay safe. Please stay healthy, stay safe, and please enjoy life. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your time.